Oh no, but you know what? Let's bring it back to that. I mean, yeah, David Icke's a good tunnel into like the reptilians and whatnot, and like putting everything together with like the spiritual aspect and the old school Egyptian stuff and everything too. When they talk about Mars, well, there's this whole thing with Mars, and like,
yeah, like they say we were Martians, like we came from Mars. Yeah.
Well,
we have Martian blood in us.
Yeah, some of us, yeah. Exactly. And
right. Well, they invaded us, basically.
Like the way I connect the dots.
Point at me. I'm not a Martian.
No,
I'm not a Martian.
Maybe subconsciously.
Hey, that's the name of this episode. I am not a Martian.
No, but I was saying like because pretty much
a band needs to be named.
They say that originally Mars was inhabited, and then they destroyed the planet there. This is me connecting the dots of everything.
I know.
So they destroyed the planet, came over here. They created a Merkaba and like the pyramids.
The sacred geometry.
Yeah, they did that, and that's how they created they came into a portal and ended up here. And the portal had to do with Atlantis. I don't know if you've seen that Spirit Science episode.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And the Flower of Life.
Explain it. Anyways.
So pretty much, it's connecting with Atlantis, and the reason that they were so highly advanced is because pretty much this race came in. Well, actually, they were highly advanced already, and then this race came in that was like pretty much like the negative force, and it's kind of like they were here to teach each other stuff. The good side, not necessarily good side, but yeah, I guess you can see it, the polarities like that, and then the bad side, and there's battles, and I'm really foggy about the whole details right now, but I guess the point I was trying to get to is that there's these Martian people that pretty much came from Mars, and you look at the history going around that time with Atlantis and even further into Egypt and everything. There's those families of wealth that have always had wealth and power, and the thing with those Martians that came, like I said, the reason it's considered negative is because they were always more aggressive.
They're conquerors, yeah.
Yeah, they're more aggressive. It's because they use the reptilian brain.
They're on the male side too. They're male dominated.
Exactly. Yeah, the energy is male dominant.
That's what it's considered. That's the aggressive. That's the alpha male.
The right brain, if I'm correct. Right?
I think so. I'm not sure, but yeah.
One of those.
But either way, that's what they say. And then
it's more logical based. It's
right. And we're out of balance, and it's pretty clear, dude. Like even if you didn't know that, you just tell someone on the street, like, "Hey, things are cool right now."
Yeah.
See what they say. Like, no,
everyone knows it. Yeah,
they won't even look at you because they're not okay. Like they just won't even look at you, dude. Just like I don't know, man. So that's what I was saying earlier. Like it's right on the surface. How come we're afraid to talk about it? I don't fucking care anymore, dude. I'm too old to fucking care anymore. Like I'm already that old man now. Like I just need a cardigan and a stick to shake at you. Get off my lawn, you fucking. But anyways, I think the Illuminati and all that, dude. I don't know your opinion. I would like to know your opinions on that because you seem to know about that. So what do you think? Yeah. What do you think about those institutions or what do you want to call them? Societies, secret societies?
I mean, it's hard to say no. I mean, like you said, the information's there. It's just, to me, I find it wild that just a small group of people can control billions of people. It's just...
It is wild, yeah.
It is. It's very... It's I can't grasp it.
Think about... Just to pause for a second, because I want you to keep going. Mm-hmm. Interject this thought.
Sure.
When you think like that, are you thinking... What kind of timeline are you entertaining as you compare that thought?
Timeline?
Yeah. Because if you have 1,000,000 years to control the same families for 1,000,000 years, I can have 1,000,000 kids. That if I told you right now, like I have 1,000,000 children, you would, but I'm like, well, I'm 1,000,000 years old though.
Yeah.
So what timeline are you using when you make that kind of like? I'm just curious because I'm very curious to know your answer because I've asked this to people before.
No, honestly, I was talking about very recently because earlier on I could see how people can rule whatever. Like it's all. They didn't have what we have nowadays, so it's just kind of like, oh, okay, there's a ruler. He's probably touched by the gods. He probably has, royal blood in him. I gotta bow to this guy. So back then it was easy to rule stuff like that. But I mean, once our great old society came in and everything like that, and community, what am I getting at? Pretty much nowadays. You're talking about timeline. Nowadays we have the ability to reach out and connect to each other.
Right.
We can come together as humanity now, and it's freaking great. Before, we had rules because there was a ruler there. We kind of still have that. It's breaking apart right now. It's kind of breaking apart right now, and it's because we have the freaking ability to connect together finally, you know? And that's one thing we've been missing, Back when humans first started, we didn't have fangs. You know, we didn't have anything like that. We survived because we were together.
Yeah.
You know, then once, you know, institutionalized stuff came in, and that's when we broke apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you could really go back further and say it's when agriculture started is what destroyed humanity.
Of course.
Because that's the only reason that communities and societies exist, because you can farm. That's just a historical fact, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
but just how trends
everything
come
comes
back,
full circle,
dude.
exactly.
Yeah, just how trends come back, just how everything comes back.
So we've been alive long enough to, in my opinion, to acknowledge that there are secret societies.
Yeah.
They've been in power long enough time to manipulate themselves and weave themselves through institutions and that's just current times. You can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's studies on this. There's books written on this where there's like I forget how many families it is.
It's ridiculous.
It's like 6 families that really rule everything, or something, even some ridiculous number. I might be over exaggerating.
And that's what I'm saying. Like now we have the time to connect, dude. Like
we do. Literally, that's why I think that's why it's happening.
Over. We could make like a wall of like 2,000 people and literally run them over. If you really wanted to get that, you know, crazy in it, if you want to eliminate them and stuff, but. You know,
the last time we were close to that was the 60s, where people actually, I don't know, maybe drugs did have something to do with that. People were experimenting with drugs. People, their minds were opening, and we actually did do something about it. They noticed, and again,
shut down,
happened, and we all got shut down.
Like
so what needs to happen again is another revolution. We need to start a revolution, that's what needs to happen again. People need to.
And people know it, dude, and like it's crazy.
What should that revolution be based on?
It's crazy. It's crazy to see people just freaking coming together, dude. Like just reading stuff online. It's amazing, man.
Good question.
Education.
Knowledge.
Having like that conference, like 500 at the top, and then make them develop a plan for universities and schools to like be able to branch out the new form of how everything is gonna work, and then that's how you do it. Everyone just learns. But then it's like, who pays for that shit? I mean, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's
you have to
exactly. Like, why do you gotta use that term? Who pays for this?
Like, exactly.
You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to. Like, like if you get those 500 people in the room, I'm pretty sure like there would be a way to do it. But it's like that's like the old mentality.
I think when you say pay too, I mean like things cost.
Yeah.
It's not that you have to pay somebody like profit. It's like, that it's still gonna cost. It's gonna cost
the
something.
labor and stuff like that.
It's gonna cost something somewhere. Nothing's free.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how I interpret that, because I understand what you're saying. But
I mean, like just like an example is like you give small business that business, you know, like we need books, like a printing company that's like down the street.
That's why government sucks ass, because they can't do that.
Yeah, because you can't do it.
Because that's the people's money, and then this misused, and it's just I'm all about the private industry, like dude,
school textbooks are like just a worthless junk, man. It's just like our textbooks is like, what the fuck is that?
$150 worth.
Exactly.
We read like a fraction of the book,
and they only change like one word,
and
then they have to print
new
new ones.
Oh yeah, every new edition.
Yeah.
So we added the word. Oh no, we added a period at the end.
We changed this font to yellow.
Yeah.
We're gonna read this as VL12. Man, that's crazy.
More. Oh, what do you guys think about money? I think that'd be a good topic.
I like to roll around in it naked.
I hate the idea of money, man.
Yeah.
But like the system itself, like obviously it came
What
from
system?
that primitiveness of
Just
bartering.
money, just using money.
Having the gold system back, the dollar, like that's not even like what we're at anymore.
Yeah, so exactly
there
what
is
system?
no like what it.
The devaluation of it.
We believe in paper. Like,
Yeah.
Well, what do you call the system right now? What do you call this?
Well, right now we're in a monetary system, but
Okay,
I think
just more specifically, like, what is this? Capitalism?
capitalism.
I call it heaven.
Heaven?
I don't know about that.
Are you a free market kind of guy? I call it heaven too. But I don't think heaven exists. That's why it's funny to me. But,
It's
capitalism? You say
system.
capitalism?
Yeah, I was.
We should talk about that exactly.
Okay,
So
let's go.
capitalism.
Let's go.
Like,
And go.
what's capitalism?
Well,
Free market, free trade, free
yeah.
association.
But it's done well. At least from my perspective, it seems to be done in a way where it allows these companies, corporations to monopolize. And then the part that bothers me the most is that they've been given legal rights as a
Right. So let's bring it back, because if we go any further, it won't go nowhere. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, like, we need to define capitalism before this conversation's had. Or I'm serious. It's so funny, dude. Like, you're gonna trip out. What is capitalism? It's
Let's
free. It's free. I know what it is, but look it up.
The
Yeah.
exact definition. Let's look up the exact definition. Or who has the exact definition? No, I'm just kidding.
I know, right? Well, we get real philosophical, but we actually are getting philosophical because we need to define terms and need to understand what they're based in to understand how the system should work, ideally, versus how it is working. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point I'm making here. It's not a matter of supporting capitalism. Like, let's see if we're actually doing that system.
All right. So, according to the definition, capitalism is an economic and political system in which a country's trade and industry are controlled by private owners for profit rather than by the state. So yeah, it seems like
what's the last part?
Rather than the state, but then by the state.
So that's basically saying the state shouldn't be included, right?
Yeah, it's saying the state should not. Well, yeah, the economic
rather than the state, like don't go to the state.
So
it's
pretty
private.
much that's exactly what's going on. Is that the corporations are running our political system, and
but it's saying not by the state. They shouldn't be. But you're just saying that it's working with the government. Corporations are working with the government. Would you agree?
Yeah.
That's not capitalism.
Okay. So
that's fascism. That's when corporations shake hands with government. We're living in a fascistic society. It's a mixture of things, like a combination.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not capitalism. It's not free market. It's not free trade. Because the government should not involve themselves. A third-party entity has no business between an interaction between you and me.
Yeah.
Like, why does Alfonso just get to say, like, wait, guys, you're going to trade a banana for an orange? No. I gotta take a piece of that. I gotta build a road. That's not. Capitalism does allow for those things. It does allow for monopolies. It's not perfect. It's freedom's not perfect. Freedom's chaos. Apply that knowledge to that. Like, what's the difference? We're living in a crony capitalistic society. It's fascism. It's not. We're not socialists. We have socialist policies, but no, dude, we're totally straight up. Or corporatism. You can look up that. And that's what it is. And that's,